Welcome, this is Viper278 bringing you today's tutorial on Courseplay version 4.01 and the transfer mode. So right click, open up our Courseplay interface. Transfer mode is the fifth icon from the left. So it's actually the dead center one on the bottom row here, and this is to bring vehicles from point A to point B. So for this demonstration we'll bring in our slurry tanker from our cow area, and we're finished emptying this one and we want to start emptying the one at the BGA plant. So we're gonna drive from the cow area here to the BGA. So what I do is I usually pull up a little bit to start my first point, and that way there, if I have another course to come in, they'll have a separation so they won't overlap each other. So I'm going to go ahead and put it right about there, start course recording. I'm going to turn that off so I can use my sceneries here. I'll make my turn here. And off we go to the BGA plant. So slow down a little bit, come into the corners. Okay, I'm going to give it some gas. And we'll come up and we'll get set up for our BGA delivery. So I'm going to make sure we hit the trigger. So just enough to make sure if he stops a little bit behind, he's still there. Okay. So we'll right click on the interface and we'll hit our stop button. Now if you made a mistake where maybe you're too far away or you went too far past it, hit your pause, and then you can use a little trash can here to erase the waypoints and start further back and come back again. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hit our stop button here. We're done our recording. We'll go ahead and save our course, and this is going to be, I call this cow slurry to BGA slurry. Okay, so that way I know that the course is where I'm going to and from. And you can see here cow slurry to BGA slurry. Okay. So now we're going to go back and check our course out. And we can also run one back. So actually we're going to do that. We'll go ahead and make our course backwards. So if this is where I stopped, I'm actually going to drive ahead a bit. Okay, go by at least your vehicle length. Okay, so we're going to drive one to go back. So we're going to start messed up. forgot to hit our delete course there, or clear our course out. Keep doing that. So it's very important if you're making another recording to make sure you delete or clear out your first course first. There. Okay, so we're about right here. So I'm gonna pull up right about there, and I'll start my course. Okay. So we'll run over our scales and come to a gate, slow down a little bit so we don't hit it. So I'll head back to our cow barn. Slow down for our curve here. Plus it's a hill. Don't want it to get all wonky. And we're going to stop here, back at this trigger. So we'll see, make sure we hit that refill trigger is good. Okay. So same thing again, we'll stop our recording. We'll go ahead and save this one. Now this one's going to go BGA slurry 2 cow slurry. Okay. Now you can see we got both our courses in, a BGA slurry to cow slurry, and then a cow slurry to our BGA slurry. So that we can keep rotating through whichever one fills up that you need to get rid of, empty out. So we're going to clear a course. So the first one we're going to do is we're done emptying this tank, and we want to go empty the one at the BGA plant now. So we'll select our cow slurry to BGA. Okay. Get our driver control. We make sure that we're on the transfer mode. He's just going to drive from point A to point B. So we want to make sure we start at the first waypoint, and we'll go ahead and drive course. Now we want to make sure we activate the stopping at the last point, or else it will continue right through. And he'll drive into a fence or whatever obstacle is in front of him. And that's not good. Sometimes they'll get stuck on something and you'll have to reset your vehicle. So make sure you remember to activate the stop at the trigger or the endpoint. So always double check your courses, make sure everything runs right. Make sure he takes his corners where he's supposed to. Okay, now he's supposed to stop right there at our trigger and give us a notification that he stopped. Okay, there he is. There's your notification, and if you're on another vehicle, you could always click right there on the little tractor there, and it'll bring you right to this guy. So, and then you notice that he doesn't stop actually at the stop sign. He'll actually stop at the waypoint before it. So if you're setting up, trying to set up to make him, be in the refill spot, either make sure that you're up high enough, make sure that the vehicle waypoint that he's going to stop at, which will be the second one here, is in front of the fill point here. Because see, right now he's not even triggering it. But if he was to stop here, he would be triggering. So in your recording, you could actually put the pause point at your stop point. So you hit your pause, and then you'd hit the stop recording. That'll put a pause here, and then he'll stop right there when you activate the stop there. So he'll actually stop up here rather than back here. Or while you're recording, remember, watch for your waypoints, see which one's actually hitting the trigger, and then go one more, or actually two more waypoints ahead, so that way there he would actually stop here, and the last waypoint would be up here. So you'd have to make sure he's 2 waypoints behind where you're stopping, and then he'll stop at that point. But I would use the pause to make him stop. But since we really don't need that, we don't have a continuing course now, so this is no problem. Okay, because we're going to change them anyway, so we can actually move them up ourselves. So we're going to stop our driver, clear our course out, and then we can just go up just a little bit just to start refilling, and then do our sales. Now we're done our sales. He's back here, and we want to bring him back over to the cow barn. So we're going to pick our course, BGA slurry to cow. And I'm going to show you what happens when we don't select, if we leave this deactivated. So he goes to the first point. And he'll drive back to the cow barn. So always remember to slow down to the gates. It will hit it if it goes fast enough before the gate gets triggered. And you see he's following our route back to our cow barn. So it's important to slow down around these corners, because Courseplay will make the corners a little squiggly if he's going too fast. It's like a fishtail effect almost. Okay. So you can tell he went outside his line coming down the hill. So now he's going to slow down for the trigger. And then without automatically stopping, he is going to find the first point again, which is back in that direction. So that's why you got to make sure that you activate the stopping at the last point, or else he'll keep on trying to find the first point again. So it actually loops unless you stop it. So that's it. So, okay, I'll just get him back to where he's supposed to here. Let's see if I clear that. Okay. So that concludes our tutorial, and once again, this is the transfer mode, is the 5th icon from the left, or 5th from the right, it's dead center one. This mode goes from point A to point B. You can use this for any vehicle, combines to go from field to field, seeders, fertilizers, any vehicle type that you want to bring across the map. Say you're logging and you got to bring 2 vehicles at the same time. You can set one, you drive yourself one, and set the other one to drive itself, following you or going to your destination. So that's good to bring. You can do multiple vehicles in the same course. You know, they can each follow each other. Just send them off, like, you know, a few seconds before each other, and they'll follow each other right to the end point. So you can have 3 or 4 vehicles on the same route. Like I have this other tanker here. I could put both tankers on the same course right here, and both of them will drive right to the stop point. The only thing is, you'll have a warning message saying that this rear one will be stuck in traffic when they stop. So, but that's fine. You know, that's no biggies. That's just telling you that there's another vehicle in front of them when he stopped. So, but then you just click on the icon there, and you can go right to him from no matter which other vehicle you're at. Okay, so this concludes our tutorial for today. I hope you find it useful. Check out some more of my tutorials on the other Courseplay functions, and I hope you found this helpful for you. And if you have any questions, just leave it in the comments down there, and I'll get to it as soon as I can. And thank you for watching, and happy farming.